up or get it dry. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Drop Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dry. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box is here, have no fear. Pick whatever level you need in fresh gear. The basic box is $69.99. Get $132 worth of gear to shine. The custom box is $89.99. Get $180 in value with quality every time. Two are made in Compton sweatsuit, snapback cap and socks. And a bonus surprise, laying neat on top. The deluxe box is $129.99. You'll get $265 worth of Compton classics gear design. More value, more style, more Compton, more fly. Dress built for the city and hold your head high. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dropped. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Now, push on over to MICPT.com. Alright, check out the site and choose whatever you might to get the best deals for the best price. Fast shipping to just about any and everywhere you like. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dry. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box.
All right, welcome back. We made a Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap. There's a lot to talk about. Hopefully, more people will tune in. I had a longer introduction for this first podcast because this is the first one that usually there is. Oh, today is Saturday. You know what? Actually, this ecosystem weekly recap is on Sundays. I slated for Sundays. Oh my goodness. I'm early. This is Saturday. Let me check something here. I am so excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, I believe it's slated for Sunday. But I'm going to go ahead and share um, a precursor for people and myself so that way we can get used to this. It will be recorded, pre recorded, so that way I can address some other comments. And that way, people who want to be a guest on the show for a certain segment as well, we can schedule that. And it's just a lot to work on to do this type of, like they say, a podcast is almost like a community network type podcast. So, with that in mind, yeah, please note that this will be on, it will air. This is the proper time actually because I want to air it again on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. So it will replay 10 a.m. on Sundays. So that's what this is about. So it is a pre recorded show. And know that sometimes, like they say, you just got to get started. Okay, and that's what I was working on doing. And this is why I said 9:30 after the MICPT.com podcast. So here we go. We're going to get into the thicket of it. And I'm going to share welcome to the ecosystem. And it is made in Compton Store's ecosystem that is so vast. And there's so many merchandise, there's services. There's now the Compton Media Hub that helps to further edify people and thank people in the community. There's been a lot of people for over 13 years supporting the Made in Compton store. So there's so much to look at and chew on. So please know that this is the reason why it's named Made in Compton Ecosystem. And of course, yes, it would be weekly and it will air again at 10 o'clock a.m. on Sunday mornings. All right. And with that in mind, welcome again to the Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap. There's 1 week, one recap, one connected Made in Compton Ecosystem. Working on a new uh, log line or tagline. Tell us where you are watching from and which part of the ecosystem you want to hear about today. All right. So you can definitely leave uh, the comments. We appreciate that. And the question is here, where are you watching from? Once again. Okay. And this next segment we will do, we'll be faster. This is just the introduction of the one and only Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap. Note that it is slated for a 35 to 45-minute podcast in the future. Okay. And there's a plethora of information here. So here's the format. So for anybody that's going to watch this first one that may tune in while I'm going over this information on another screen here, just want to see if I can get the backdrop of the news show here in the background. It's not sharing right now. Let's see if I do this. Oh, there it is. All right. So I will read here and looking forward to comments. So I will check back right there. And here we go. All right. So once again, uh, I thank you very much for being here and watching previous episodes. And if you haven't been, if this is airing on a different platform, please note that the homepage is the one and only MICPT Channel 12 Compton. And there are now upcoming shows, so you can click on the tiles so it can notify you, and then the next tiles will share about previous shows. And then I plan to have the split screens, so that way you can see if there's a guest on a show, you'll see the guest as well as the name of the podcast. Okay, we do podcasts every night. So once again, if you want to recommend someone for a shout out, please do. This is a shared platform. We're working on it. Okay, this is the first day. Shared a favorite. We're going to share a favorite podcast moment, and it shall be the MICPT.com podcast today, because I was rushing to get to my computer. So I was on my phone, I want to tell you thank you for everybody that's out there following along, sharing with people about the one and only products and services, deals that we have at the Compton Store. And really quick, this is a recap. You just think 2 to 5 p.m., ask for the secret deal and get a deal. Every day there is a deal. And note that there's a green book that is a catalog in the Compton Store that's filled with deals. So you want to peruse that catalog sometime so you can get prepared for the holidays, if you will. You celebrate the holidays, and the book is located where the accessory table is in front of the store. Also, no, on Sundays is Snapback Sundays, $25 hats, all hats are $25, and they are snapback hats. And then we have the one and only on, here we go, Wednesdays, that's $25 t-shirts. And just in case, you have $25 t-shirts. It's called Wow Wednesdays. And then we have Fridays where you can buy shorts that are normally $55 or $45, and you get a free book. That's on Fridays. All right. And with that in mind, after every purchase, if you say Teddy G, you get something free from the Teddy G's table. Note that we're just asking you to share about the fact that the Compton Store has a mascot. And once we get 10 mascots donated, we take them to a foster care agency, or we have the representatives to come pick them up. Or for some places we have shipped them. And then we have videos located on the MICPT Channel 12 Compton YouTube channel as well for you to see previous interactions. And of course, they're either coming to pick them up in their foster care agency attire, or they have they send a picture of their facility. So of course there's just no children. It's just their facility, and you can look them up online. And we mentioned that the name of their foster care agency in the videos. Okay, so that's what the Teddy G free table, Teddy G has a free table, is to actually mention him. And a little bit more about Teddy G real quick. Know that he has 25 books thus far, and they teach about character building, tourism. It's a lot of realistic fiction and lots of fun. And also teaches about financial literacy and, just how to edify other people as well. And he has hoodies, he has t-shirts, he has tank tops. So that's the one and only Teddy G, the mascot for the Compton Store. All right. And we've shared a variety of commercials at the top of the show. I was just hoping to get attention to more people. Although, this is like, people don't know. If once we go off of the MICPT.com podcast on Saturdays, which we've been doing for like 2 years, I was just wondering if somebody would come on. But in the future, when you listen to this podcast, I want to tell you thank you for your support. And definitely, if you would like to be a guest on any of the podcasts, let us know. And with that in mind, if you have a question about something in the ecosystem, like a question about the MICPT Media Hub, this is your first time learning about it, by all means, ask the question, leave it in the comments area as well, because this will be a recap, and it could really serve as a platform where, after people have watched the podcast, comrades, co-workers and family members, friends, and so forth, that this would be the comments area where we get a chance to uh, see everybody's questions and answers and so forth, if you will, because there are 7 different podcasts, but this would be one that we can recap as a collective, the ecosystem. Okay. With that in mind, what was your favorite MICPT moment from last week? All right, if you could list that in the comment area, and I'll have some slides in the future so people, when they come into the podcast, they'll know where we are on the questions. All right. And that's a weekly question right there, as you see. And then, of course, yeah, we have some highlights. Like today, I got to share that Dr. Steve-O has sent another book. Okay. So I'm going to do a commercial about his new book in the store tomorrow. Know that he is the author of the book that had the Harley. They are talking about the one and only great peach cobbler, right? Sweet potato pie. It's the sweet potato pie. I wish I had a copy myself. They went so fast, but they felt so good, those books. And there's a QR code inside the Made in Compton store as well. I have to put that flyer online too, because he has flyers in the store as well. And so you can still purchase that book that feels like velvet. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So shout out to Dr. Steve-O. That's definitely a highlight. And we want to share about the one and only Legends Are Made in Compton auditions. They are every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's not that you have to be, the professional. And we want you to really think about it like a workout room. So that way you can feel like, okay, I don't have to be perfect or a professional yet, but I do want this opportunity to get on a stage with a stool and a microphone at the Compton Club. Absolutely. So think of it in that notion. And actually, there's an exercise bike inside there too. So, I mean, literally, it could be called a workout room. Okay, they have music. You go to the gym, they have music. They have these other caveats where you can go do your sit-ups and that type of thing, your crunches. And they actually have the bikes you sit on and walk and everything. And then you have another place where you can actually talk to people about what you're planning for as your weight goals and fitness goals rather. And definitely you have a place to get on a treadmill. And the treadmill is almost like that stage because it really is a workout. So it really is like a workout room too. Okay. So just think about that. And if you haven't experienced the LA Hood Life tours, please note that sometimes, people say, wow, they came from France and Italy and Japan. What, I'm seeing all of these videos on the podcast or commercials on the videos on Instagram and the social media, TikTok and everything. Please shout out to the LA Hood Life Tours. They pick people up and share them. Share. They have flyers and people that's out there talking to them on Hollywood Boulevard, and there's an office there, and you can get booked. You can go online at lahoodlifetours.com. You could check them out on Instagram as well. But please know, go online, book a tour, and you can see the different places. Actually, if you don't want to come, if you never experienced a tour, you want to do both because they have another one that's Hollywood and Beverly Hills as well. They also have one where it takes you around South Central LA, where a lot of murals are of the superstars, and take you around to places where movies were filmed, and of course bring you to the Made in Compton store for souvenirs, and just so many places, where Venus and Serena grew up playing tennis, where the movie Friday was filmed, of course the renovated Compton High School. There's so many different places. So something is really different when you take a tour and you don't have to drive. You're not the driver. And then you can even take your family. It could be a family outing because you learn something new. The tour guides are exceptional. I'm talking about exceptional. They have so much information, and not just because they're older, but they have so many, so much wisdom. and at the same time, they know a lot of people. So, they talk all the time, and it's just really neat to hear them talk and further share the information that they're providing to the tourists as they're exiting the parking lot. And they have the windows rolled down. It's really phenomenal. So shout out to the tour guides and LA Hood Life Tourists. And yeah, that's something to do. Even if you live local, it gives you a break. You get a chance to experience something new too. All right. Also, and then I hear that there's a lot of collaboration too on the tours as well. Like people from Australia often share that there is a place that they call home, of course, that's just like Compton. And so if they live in that area or they don't, but they know that that's why they come to, because there's returning tourists that come too. And so they book their tours to come back with Big Mike because they're seeing that change and have been transformed in the greater Los Angeles area. So that's pretty neat. So it's just a lot of different things. It's not just the tour guides that are learning. It's also all of us, that's inside the store, local people that come inside the store when the tourists are there as well. So it's really, really neat. Okay. And if that's something else you want us to expound on, because uh, I know a lot of people, they just see the videos, but they don't know about the conversations and so forth. And so also just know that you can also book the Media Hub, MICPT Media Hub, at $100 an hour. You need a engineer is $150. Imagine with an hour, and you have access. If you know your song already, you can record your song in there. You can have pictures taken really quick in the green screen area to create a video later. You can get on stage. You already have your monologue together or your comedy set together. You just jump on that stage, and maybe it's a minute or your 3 minutes, and then you get on that podcast and do the podcast area. If you want the engineer to interview you, the engineer jump in and do that too. You have your set of questions you want the engineer to ask you. You can put it on a piece of paper or index cards and further promote yourself or your project and so forth. You can do a lot in an hour. So just think about that. And then you can repurpose those pieces of information and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Uh, just know that when we say is if we're gonna have a little a signal, but I need to get that signal. But just know if it's something like that, which highlight should receive a longer feature. I could actually play the sound effect right here with the one and only train whistle. Yeah, because I'm like, that's a long one. Okay. So how about that? So I want to incorporate some more sound effects as well. All right, going forward, do know that the MICPT podcast and notable moments from our latest episodes will be featured. And that's kind of what those, in the beginning, there were commercials, but I wanted to actually do more with those the commercials. Absolutely, just know that this is just the first show, and it's nothing like just getting started anyway, and this is just an example. So some people, they're like, what I'm gonna do on my first podcast, or should I pre-record it? And then you're gonna pre-record it and you're gonna go over it and over it. You might do it 20 times before you finally upload it. Sometimes you just gotta jump in there like you jump in there just to start swimming. Absolutely. So, but I know that comes from somebody that's been doing podcasts for a long time. But if you know me, you know that this is my first one for sure. Okay. Absolutely, about this one and only Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap. I hope it's been fun thus far, and the questions here, just like this one, has been intriguing for you and fun. And I'll eventually see more comments about the questions. So, maybe I'll put those in the questions in the description area as well. And that'll make it easier too, because I know some people may have missed the question, especially because I didn't have any slides this time. So, which MICPT podcast deserves this week's audience shout out? There are 7 currently, well, actually 8, because we also have another MICPT Reading Circle podcast, and I need to do more. I definitely now I have to do. I'm going to do a podcast for Dr. Steve O. Okay, so I want to ask you to type the podcast name in the comments. All right. And now, shout out of the week. If you have a shout out, please share with the Made Culture Store before Saturday. That'd be cool too, if that's possible. But if you have to come to the store on Saturday, I'll try to remember that too. All right. And because sometimes I leave the work there because this seems to be another shift, absolutely, with working with the podcast. All right. So, but definitely shout out to one podcast guest, I would say shout out to Fabian. Fabian, he has been a customer. He's a great host. He haven't wrote a book yet, so I can't say he's an author just yet. But if he was listening right now, he would say, "Well, I am an author." Something I can just see him now. Absolutely, but definitely, he is a great supporter and just wonderful community member of the ecosystem, the Made It Compton Store. So just want to shout out Fabian. Keep up the great work. He's hilarious. All right now. So and with that in mind, actually there's a playlist where it says Fabian, and you can watch previous podcasts. All right. And he has definitely contributed to a lot of hilarious podcasts. I mean, but very instrumental, and he jumps right on in there too at the end of the podcast with Bone, after Bone shares the words of wisdom and reads the scriptures, and they actually communicate about that information too. It's really cool. All right, so share your shout out. You've seen the guests in the previous days. Let us know. All right, who should be considered for next week's shout out? Okay, you can do that too. And then we're going to talk about the winner's circle really quick. Uh, of course, the mystery box winners, we've had plenty. And but today, actually, shout out to the one and only, is that there's a lot of Mike, but if you have seen the mystery box winners, he actually won twice. So he happened to be the store today and to share with another person what the Made in Compton store has, and it was really intriguing, and he actually motivated the customer to uh, I'm not sure if she's gonna win or not, but absolutely to enter into the mystery box. And sometimes we forget because we're thinking raffle, but we need the mixed mystery box. Maybe it's mystery box. It could be called something else. All right. So, but yes, it's really neat to know that there are winners of the raffle, and you win a actual mystery box. Okay, and then with that in mind, I would love to honor or edify people that have received community recognitions, achievements, and we would like to share some there are events, lots of events that happen over the course of the week. And the Compton High School, all the high schools, absolutely. The Crystal Palace or hotel there. There's just so many different things that go on for some great things. There's the farmers market, but we don't have all the events, written down. We don't have the flyers. We just hear about them, from customers, and or we have driven past different places, but it's really where we want to get succinct with it, so people can drop off those flyers. And that reminds me, there's a young man that dropped off a flyer, um, and today we didn't per se do the legends are made in Compton auditions where we streamed it live. When we stream live for somebody, that's when I want to jump in there and advertise a flyer. So I will have to share that flyer with somebody. Somebody recently just shared a flyer. Okay, so I'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. And also know that there is the one and only customer spotlight. I want to spotlight. I'm gonna feature Star. Star just had a birthday this past week. So happy birthday once again, Star. And she also actually came to the store and she bought a gift for her cousin who also had a birthday. I thought that was pretty neat. So just to see how the gift keeps on giving and that type of thing. So it's because Star, she actually came to pick up her mystery box because Star was the one that won last time, the last customer that won the mystery box. How neat was that? So not only did she pick up the mystery box, did she actually bought her cousin something for his birthday. So that's pretty neat to have a cousin close in days of birth. And I think that I got to shout out my cousin Lanita. She had a birthday too on the 23rd. And my birthday is on August 3rd. Both our mothers had due dates. Her due date is my mother's due date is her birthday. Her mother's due date is my birthday. It just worked out like that. Absolutely. It's pretty neat. So shout out to everybody that's listening and that will listen and listen. Um, like they say, it's some active listeners. They have more time so they can be long-term listeners through these podcasts. But note that if this is a recap podcasts over 7 different podcasts and over the course of the week and all these different things that take place at the Made in Compton store and of course online social media um, presence is very rich, so it won't be that long next time though, but plan to be 35 to 45 minutes, and usually that's what the other podcasts are, but we look forward to them being shorter, 15 to 30 minutes. So this is just going to be possibly a little bit longer. So we also have this area that we're going to talk about new on the rack. So, of course, we can feature new clothing. Like most recently is Rosecrans Street. That's in red and also in green. There's accessories that we could talk about, bundles and limited releases as well. And one limited release is Dr. Stevo's new book, for one. Okay. So you want to get to the store and buy his new book, especially if you felt the cover of the last book. This cover feels a little different, and definitely it has more work in it. So as though for the first book is more family oriented. Of course, all the books are going to be for family oriented because we hope that the families will work together with the children. But I had something about the fact that he autographed the books too, and you can see his upcoming books, and he's always has and one with his book. So you want to check out that book, and if you live out of the state, be prepared to listen or view a video. Okay, I'm gonna make a video of Dr. Stevo's new book. All right, and so note that yes, we also have. Then that's very distinctive that he has and one with all of his books. The last one was a flyer. So if you're a new author, I'm just sharing that it's an and one. I mean, I'm learning from him too. I've always wanted to have a bookmark, make bookmarkers for my books and everything. So maybe I'll start doing that. Uh, Absolutely. And so, which products should we feature next week? This is the next question for the comments, the viewers. Okay, you can share the size, color, or type of product that you would like to see added. Okay, and just recently, what was added in the store, you can actually request a tank top with Compton High School's the picture of the Compton High School's design. Okay, so that's pretty neat because I understand that Compton High School, there's a group of Compton High alumni that will be on a boat soon and traveling, having fun. And if you view their last cruise, I'm sorry, I said boat, the cruise that they were on, how nice that they had a great time. And you can go on Facebook. It was viewed on Facebook. Really, really nice. All right, and but like people are expecting it's going to be hot, very hot this summer. So yeah, if you like a tank top, you can call the store so that way we can make sure we get the tank top in your size. If you know someone or you want to gift someone one of those tank tops with the Compton High design on there because they're upcoming alumni. Um, Collaboration will be soon in August. And shout out to Dominguez High School. They had their alumni picnic today. And thank you for the great supporters of Made in Compton Store. Appreciate you, childhood friends. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. I gotta do a shout out. Shout out to Mush. Amen. Shout out to Ice Cream. Absolutely. But yes, it's really, really neat to see your childhood friends and people you've been knowing for a long time or know, even people absolutely, because you have a lot of older brothers and sisters for um, your friends that you went to school with. They were in high school when you were in junior high school type of thing. Always pretty cool. All right. So here, are you an artist or author who would like to be featured? Hmm. So that is of the essence. Please note that, people say, oh, I'm not that creative, but you definitely have something that you can share that's positive, that's uplifting, you have, want to impart some information and make it um, fruitful for future generations. Like how some people like, if I would have known this at this age or that age or what have you, I would have saved this amount of money, or I wouldn't gave away that computer, or not the computer, gave away that. I saw, shout out to Earth 7. He shared with us a podcast on, or a video about a singer sewing machine that somebody had put out. And he was like, wow, it did look so rich. I mean, because it looked so authentic. It was authentic. It was just like, wow. And it was just sitting out, and it should be in a museum, as he was sharing. And Earth 7 is he is our first music artist on the podcast. Yeah, so shout out to Earth 7. Definitely, we want to share how we post, we like different things too, and just like a lot of people like different things, and it's something to keep up with, like how many times this person liked a video and that type of thing. So it's just one of those things, like, oh my gosh, I just want to shout you all out that every day. Shout out to Tim. That's somebody I see that I think it seems like it's a way for him to like these videos over and over again, because I see him every day. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for your support. Absolutely. Got a chance to meet you in person a couple of months ago. So thank you so much, because I know you're going to see this. Amen. So thank you again. Here's a question here. What would you create inside the MICPT Media Hub? Hmm. Remember, there's recording sessions, podcast productions, green screen projects, it can be music or video productions, interviews, auditions, Media Hub. We have Media Hub winners when we did the auditions, and know that you can plan on upcoming booking opportunities. So you got to think about that, how you want to go about it. And you definitely call the store, and we'll give you the details, more details as well. And going forward, community question of the week. All right. We have a question this week. What does Made in Compton mean to you? All right. And remember, these questions, and for this segment of the Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap, it can pertain to people that still live in Compton, used to live in Compton, or it'd be businesses or people that have businesses, fashion, that's into music, of course, books, community, or just simply about legacy and philanthropy. So there'll be different questions of the week. Absolutely, but definitely that will be a staple. What does Made in Compton mean to you? And I should put a sound effect right here. Wow. and that gave me a chance to see it was like 40 minutes and some seconds. So I'm still within that time frame. So it could be like I said, 35 to 45-minute podcast in the future. Okay. And just a note that, and sometimes maybe it could be shorter, and especially if I'll have all the questions written down, so forth. But sometimes, like I said, you just want to get started. I can create the show and then wait another week because I'm really not ready because I don't have the slides. No, I have to go forward. Absolutely, because there's a lot of drivers that listen to the podcast from what I know, and they're not able to even see the slides. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, that's why if they come to the store, they're like, you were talking about and then I know, oh yeah, you're a truck driver. Huh? That's right. Absolutely. So shout out to all the truck drivers. Oh, I definitely got to get a sound back for the truck drivers. That I definitely have to do. Okay, so right now I'm gonna give y'all a round of applause though. Yeah. They come through. Shout out to all the truck drivers. Absolutely. So, in going forward, I just want you to know that we will be talking about scheduled guests so that way you can get notified. And if you are not on the email newsletter, you can get that information. Sometimes I know like people say I check my email, sometimes I don't. And I'm on YouTube, sometimes I'm not. That type of thing. That way we can tap into you a little bit more and it reminds you because I know it's something to be right there on a live, a bone with friends and see your friend from high school for real is really neat. And because it's only once a year that, they have the alumni activities and so forth. So it's pretty cool. All right. So going forward, just knowing, here's another question, and then I have just a couple more. This question here is the one and only cast your vote. Well, this one's actually the question right here. I'm sorry. I was trying to find my space. What are you most excited to see next week? Okay, that's what I want you to know. Amen. Okay. So with that in mind, I have so much fun. Absolutely. You already know. So I just want to know if you want to get scheduled or you want a guest, tell somebody that, or maybe they just created a new business. Tell them about the Made in Compton store and the Media Hub and so much. There's so much going on here. That's why this is called Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Podcast. All right. And we will actually also talk about the new inventory, backstories about the new inventory, product launches, store promotions. Of course, Christmas videos are coming as well. And if there's anything we want to, share, update you about something that's already in the Made in Compton store, we want to do that here. Okay. So, what are you most excited to see next week? This is something else. I want you all to know that there's going to be these questions that's going to engage people because they're going to watch your comments. They're going to listen and, just see how are you connected to the Made in Compton store. Because some people are from Russia, Australia, Japan, France, all these different places. Of course, we love Texas. We love everybody that's in the States, of course. You know what I mean? But just knowing that we have an influx of people from certain states inside the United States. But now other people could get a chance to see it becomes more transparent as a community, as a supporter of the Made in Compton store. With you listing, where are you watching the YouTube from? Or what is your favorite podcast? And so forth. Okay. So it becomes even more transparent because we know on the MICPT.com podcast that airs before this new podcast, there's only so much that we think that you all want to know, I mean, because we've been doing the show for like 2 years. So this is a way to get your input as well as for other people to learn about the Made in Compton store because some people just don't understand what be going on. As hell is. So this is really going to help more people that see it for what it is too. because they was just like, you go into the Made in Compton store. I mean, yes, you see the Teddy G, the teddy bear. That's one thing that's different anyway. A clothing store with a mascot. And this pet, I was about to say this dude, this teddy bear has 25 books. You can go on Amazon and look for Teddy G Chronicles, and he's got 25 books, and a teddy bear with his own clothing line. I mean, come on, it's really different already on top. Then you go to the right, you got the YCE, the Young Christian Eternal faith-based clothing line. What people are like, when did that start? Absolutely. And that's been around for a while. Amen. I want to make sure you can see me. My screen went away. YCE, Young Christian Eternal. And no, this screen right here, I had to get another screen. I just got in a habit with it. I cracked the screen. I dropped this laptop. And so I've been using an adapter. And then sometimes it goes off. And I just had to type in the password again. But just keeping it 100. This is where it's going to make it more transparent, okay? And then as soon as I get in the laptop, then you could see me and all my expressions. People say, you're so expressionistic. But this is going to be fun. All right. So please know that I would love for you to announce your vote for whether it's the product of the week, podcast of the week, guest of the week, best weekly highlight. And I'll put this in the description area. The next product to feature, next podcast topic, next community spotlight. But we want to get some votes. What do you want us to announce next time on the next week's recap? All right. I'll put that in the description. Don't worry. And here we are. Just a couple more things. Like I said, this one's going to be a little bit longer, but it's going to average 35 to 45 minutes in the future. But if we have a guest or whatever, what have you, it's going to be a little bit longer. Also, just wanting to thank you all for joining here. And I want to just encourage you to subscribe to MICPT Channel 12 Compton, like the episodes that you see, share with another supporter. Definitely tell somebody else that they just started a business or they're upcoming artists in different capacities. Please let them know that we support artists. We even have 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. availability for you to stream online and get on stage. And we have the one and only, what is it called? We have a device there that Master P shared on his podcast or his YouTube channel about a speaker, and we have that same speaker. So it's really neat. It's been a blessing. Okay. So it's a lot of fun there. If I had that little horn thing, I would do that. But it's really neat. So you can also remember shout out somebody, wish a happy birthday to somebody. Just know that is really, really nice. If you could visit MICPT.com anytime, it's 24 hours is the website. Okay. Watch the featured podcast episodes, the YouTube channel, as you can see, upcoming. Notify me. Please click on that. All right. And return for the next weekly recap where there will be more visuals. More visuals, definitely. All right. And I know I utilize all of those commercials in the top of this show, but you can still share the show. And once you get to the thicket of the information, I haven't did a commercial yet because I know it's a lot of commercials, but I was just hoping more people would tune in. But going forward, thank you for being part of the Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap. Your comments, purchases, appearances, ideas, and support help every part of this ecosystem remain connected. Okay, remember it's 1 week, one recap, one connected Made in Compton ecosystem. All right, and plan to see you all next time. And just really quick, welcome to the Made in Compton Ecosystem Weekly Recap. If that's what you can share with other people, just like you share about Teddy G, to get something free from the table when you purchase anything inside the Made in Compton store, that will help us as well. Thank you again for being such a great supporter. Please Don't forget to share your favorite highlight from this week, or the podcast, the person you want to shout out, or the product you want featured on the next segment, new on the rack of this Ecosystem Weekly Recap podcast, and definitely what you are looking forward to next at Made in Compton. All right. Once again, 1 week, one recap, one connected Made in Compton ecosystem. Until next time, everybody, have a great, great time.
And I connect city with a Made in Compton Store. Serves the world. Welcome to the city where the champs are born, where the streets breathe strength and the legends are sworn. Venus and Serena hit the court with the silver, gold, and bronze. Taught the world how to serve where the champions desire. Future presidents walk these blocks. Visionaries with dreams bigger than the city blocks. From the pen to the mic to the boardroom door. Compton raised leaders and the world wants more. It's the Made in Compton Store, where culture and hustle meet at the core. Print, radio, visuals, we done into one in the city of the sun. From Dre's beats to K-Dot's charisma, we thrive off struggle, not chasing fame. Entrepreneurs, actors, the real deal crew. If you made it from here, the world saluting you. Innovation ain't foreign, it's born in the CPT. From garage studios to boardrooms on repeat. Ideas championed with innovation, turn pain into purpose and challenges into victories. We storytelling designs with service and edified. Every garment speaks truth, it's a cultural guide. Legacy emits in every shelf and floor. You don't just shop, you witness love.
Compton ain't just a place, it's the proof that out the concrete grows an unstoppable truth. From curb to Congress, from grind to grace, we export courage no matter the race.
Yeah, it's the Made in Compton Store. More than merch, it's memories in motion. Adore support from wisdom.
It's a great deal, guys. And you get more stuff.
Every clothing and accessory, so when you walk in, stand tall, feel love. You're stepping in a city that birthed the next frontier. So here's the Compton, no cap, no pity. It's the heart, the soul, the renaissance.
Made in Compton in California. Yeah, get your baby one of these because we have lots of them. Lots of them. And different colors.